we can get a little love to Still Nation.
Hey guys,
Zach says, shout out.
Love this channel.
To Still Nation.
Stay tuned.
Wake up in the morning, eyes crusty, heavy yawning. My phone keep going off, so I shut off the alarm and then head into the kitchen to get the coffee brewing. French roast with French vanilla, my own French revolution. Next movement is to tune into Coffee Talk with Sil. My girl is toss a yap if I tell her she needs to chill. I hear enough of the yapping from all of these goofy shills. Plus I'm trying to be informed of whatever's the latest deal, for real.
What's up? What's up? This is sylabdul here for the sylabdul podcast, where we always honor the works of Zack Snyder and we give you informative and objective analysis of the latest in CBM geek news. Yes, Brandon, this is live. It's a real easy indicator to realize this is live. And as the title is saying, we got a few things to talk about with the unreleased BvS scene. Really cool. I saw it's like this little they got like this little concept art for it, so we're gonna look at that today. I finally got that Zack Snyder Q&A thing. I had an L on a couple of days ago. We're gonna look at what Zack Snyder explaining his techniques, his approach in film. Very cool. There's a SnyderVerse auction. WB is auctioning relics of the SnyderVerse. I don't know. Hey, what does that mean, right? We're going to look at that as well. Plus, it's again, some more news in the CBM Geek Streets. We'll get the Wednesday crew in about an hour. They'll jump on to talk about that. Much love to the chat. Much love to Still Nation. We got Davon Griffin. We got Amari Daniels. Claudia was good. Maria. Brandon Hayes is live, man. Neil Sevens. Fernando. What is good? Y'all already know we are broadcasting this over on X Twitter. Shout out to Twitter for the continued support of these streams. The best way to support this over on Twitter is to share the post, comment under the post, smash the like, things like that. Much appreciated. Over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, smash the like. You already know. Now, y'all understand the predicament. This channel is not monetized. Shout out to all those. Again, it's going to be an ongoing thing with YouTube, y'all. Just probably to the new year at this point. But shout out to those who's been supporting the platform via Patreon. Links in the description. Become a patron for just a little as $1 a month. You get expanded CBM geek coverage. I tell you what I'm hearing about the latest news as well. So real cool stuff we're doing over there on the Patreon. And we actually had a stream. I'm starting to do streams on Patreon as well. I had to move the stream I was going to do. It's going to be tomorrow. All right. So we got the sylabdul podcast Patreon situation going on there. So again, that's how you support the platform at this point. Much appreciated. We got Shin in the chat. Yeah, Shin, I'm gonna do Rumble for probably some other content as well too. Yeah, I already got Rumble set up. Yeah, things like that. Interesting. Now again, you can support, like I said, via PayPal through the Stream Elements link in the description. Patreon, CashApp. All right, let's get going. We are going to touch on a few, like I said, a few topics here. Where's my? There we go. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm already set up on Rumble. I'm going to start multi-broadcasting there as well too. So for sure. And maybe a branch of topics over there too. We'll talk about that in the future. But let's see. Well, let's address this. A few questions already coming up. Let's address that real quick. How can Zack Snyder do anything in DC Comics when James Gunn is taking over? I mean, how can Matt Reeves do DC? All right. So I mean, you know, there's a way for other people to do DC. All right, that's the point. Let's see. So is Zack Snyder doing 300 prequel or this? He's doing both, Brandon. And he's doing the UFC film. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually possible. All right. So let's get into the topics today. Good stuff, good stuff. I saw this online probably, I don't know, it was like last month or something. People was talking about this as unreleased, unfinished BvS scene. I'm like, what? Word? Like, what? You know, what's going on with that? And let's see, where's my, I'll pull up the full video so we can look at it here. But there's like a sequence that I never seen before. I mean, let's see, let's pull it up here. How we blow it up? It'll blow it up like that. So this is wild. It looks like the Doomsday sequence, but it's a little different, right? So it seems like some storyboard art or something. So you got Doomsday. And it's like, it's wild because, like, you know, we understand with the whole Doomsday sequence, you know, it didn't involve this helicopter and things like that. And then you even have Batman there with Superman. It's going to pop up here. So it's like, who's in the Batwing or whatever we in right there? Who's in there with Batfleck, right? So this is a different sequence, right? So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you're trying to see like what stands out. Like, who could this person be? Anybody have any guesses on that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is. Like, story-wise, was there another character that was supposed to be worked in? Is that Martha Kent? You know, it's Martha Kent? I don't know about that one. I don't think he'll be flying Escaping Doomsday with Martha Kent. Probably Lois. After the warehouse, Batman just took Martha outside. He didn't fly her while Doomsday was chasing him, you know? Harley Quinn? That's a good guess. The Harley Quinn? Mm-hmm. Martha or Lois? I'm not getting a Lois vibe from this, though. I'm not really. I know it's just like Mark was saying, like pre-viz, but I'm just not getting a Lois vibe here. He doesn't even touch the helicopter. So that's one mystery there. That's crazy. It's like a Superman's right there. You know what I mean? Hey. It's pretty cool. So it's like this is when Superman's engaging with Doomsday, and then again, early idea, I guess, that Batman was there as well. He destroys the helicopter. You have a Superman save. You know, people saying Zack Superman didn't save people. Well, I mean, obviously he did, but I'm just, you know, embellishing on it. Pretty cool, right? That's pretty nuts, right? I like that suit because, I mean, obviously I like what we received initially. So I'm not mad at, you know, the finished version. I just find that interesting that this sequence that we didn't get. Doomsday wasn't chasing Batfleck originally. Batfleck showed up, joins the fight. All right, exactly. Right here we show, you know, because, you know, Superman was at the ship, and then the fight breaks out with Doomsday. Then Batman joins in, you know, after saving Martha, right? So, hey, excellent footage. Okay, so I mean, Superman cares about everybody, Shin, like not just Martha, right? Now we're let's see, at the end there, it's like Batman and Superman are like distressed. It's like because what, Doomsday got loose or something? What happened there? Let's see. Oh, okay, he's chasing Batman. Okay, gotcha. Should have been in the movie. It's just a cool little sequence, right? It's a cool little sequence right there. No, this is previz, Kevin. This isn't fan made. Release the previz cut. Now, because like, I mean, in the film, Shin, like Batman does just leave Martha behind and he goes to engage with Doomsday. So I mean, just in the film, it does. I do like, yeah, the whole Doomsday, you know, monster kaiju type thing. That is pretty cool. Why they cut that scene? Well, they kind of redid the scene, you know, really. Because in the film, it's like a Superman Doomsday until, you know, they shoot that bomb up there, that atomic bomb or whatever it is. And so Superman's kind of incapacitated for a moment. Then Doomsday comes back down to the surface, and that's when Batman joins. Right here is just straight up Doomsday Batman in the beginning there. So that's interesting. We got Bruce Wayne on X Twitter. Shout out to y'all on Twitter again. Engage with the post. Share the post. That's how you support on Twitter and comment like Bruce Wayne did right here. It must be Martha after Batman rescued her in the warehouse. So we're thinking that's Martha. More people saying Martha. They show him dip and leave her. Yeah, and BvS, like Martha like waves goodbye to Batman. Like she's like, thanks, Batman. Yeah. It's like in the film. So that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised if he would have just took her into the middle of this battle. Probably budget reasons. Kino, yeah. Yeah, I got you, Kevin. Yeah, Shan, you gotta go watch BvS right now. Stop everything you're doing. Go watch BvS right now. Can Dr. Fate beat Superman? I say no. Superman get his hands on him. I mean, Dr. Fate, I mean, he has like full power. Dr. Fate is OP as heck. Like, so he can, always teleport away or something or manipulate reality to survive. So, but he don't want no hand-to-hand combat, obviously, with Superman. In the comics, at least. Brandon Hayes says, between 300 prequel, SWAT film, UFC film, what will be filmed first? I guess Rebel Moon 2 won't come for a long time then. Well, it's kind of hard to, conclude that because Netflix wants more Rebel Moon. So I would say, okay, just based on what we're saying here, I could see, I know the UFC film maybe further along than all these other projects. So that's one thing. So if I'm going to guess what's going to come first, they announced the SWAT film, the 300 prequels being worked on. I think UFC will get in front of the cameras before both of those. Rebel Moon, I'm sure they'll work that in somewhere because Netflix wants more. Smash the like. Make sure you still subscribe. We honor Zack Snyder's work over here. Also talk about the latest in CBM Geek News. We got a few other topics we're going to touch on today as well. But I thought this was a pretty cool previous thing, showing how they kind of changed that scene. Ultimate Edition. Go watch it now. Yeah, I remember. Y'all remember that? I guess those pictures was fake, right? Where they said it was supposed to be part 1 and part 2. Would have been cool. I mean, like I said, I think the Ultimate Edition did everything it needed to do, but if they would did like a part 1, like make it more of a Batman centric thing, and then do the conflict with Superman, that would have been dope. But I think we're good with the Ultimate Edition. I think that did everything for the story it needed to do. Just in my opinion. Now, general audiences, did they need a part 1 and part 2? Who knows? BvS made money. That is what it is. So what if Batman's taking Martha away from the warehouse and Doomsday spots them and attacks? Then Superman, seeing this, takes him into space. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. That's a nice guess, Shin. Real good guess right there. Since they changed the scene, you got Batman leaving Martha in a dangerous abandoned warehouse area. Hey, I'm not questioning the creative choice. In BvS, Batman leaves Martha behind. Maybe the cops was there. I don't know, but he's like, "Hey, Martha, you good? I'm out of here." Well, Kevin say, insert the previs. That'd be dope. Yeah, the Ultimate Edition just should have been in theaters. Like, that would have solved all the issues, what I'm saying, as far as what people had with the film. If you would just gave them the complete film, and yeah, it's over 3 hours, but hey, they watch all kinds of films over 3 hours. That wouldn't have been a problem. And it's Batman and Superman. So if you're going to go to the theaters for 3 hours, like, you would do it for Batman and Superman. Like, come on. Well, Marcus says the cops was there. Yeah, Batman left Martha behind. She waved goodbye to Batman. I still think we should have gotten Man of Steel 2. Yeah, well, are you saying before BvS? No, I mean, according to Jay Oliva, BvS technically was Man of Steel 2. It was part 2 of that 5-part arc. So now, BvS is the continuation of the story of Man of Steel. So that's its sequel. That's how I conclude that in my mind. Like, could it be another Superman story in there somewhere? Yeah, I mean, it could have been. But just in this 5-part arc, it's Man of Steel, then it's BvS. World's finest. Yeah, well, you know, Zack elected not to do the world's finest route, but he gave you Death of Superman and BvS. So, and kind of Dark Knight Returns and all kinds of stuff. BvS Ultimate Edition is cinema. I agree. Batfleck should have had a solo film before Justice League. Well, you know, of course, what they were planning, they were going to do the Justice League, then do the solos. But definitely, they should have, you know, made that Batfleck film. Yeah, that should have been. Like, I was fine with, again, BvS being the next film, and then maybe that's when you do the solos. But they wanted to, you know, do the whole Justice League and then the solos. I mean, it really, obviously it could have worked after seeing the Snyder Cut. You see, if they released that in 2017, the real version, it could have worked. And then you just do the Cyborg and Batfleck. They literally said the Batfleck movie in the post credit, you know, or the epilogue of the Snyder Cut. So I was fine with not getting the Batfleck before Justice League. But yeah. I mean, actual sequel, not Superman sequel. Well, I mean, again, the Ultimate Edition, Shin, I thought, you know, we had a good amount of Clark Kent and Superman. You know, Superman had the top billing in Man of Steel, right? So I didn't have no problem with that choice. That is true, Jovic. Zack has set the template for Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Yeah, then you have the Wonder Woman, and see, that's what I'm saying. I wish they would have did all the solos after BvS, because like technically in BvS you're setting up all their stories. You know, you got the Wonder Woman film after that. I think you should have did the Batfleck film right there. Again, this is on WB, the old regime. You did Wonder Woman, you did Aquaman. Though I think Aquaman came after Justice League, right? But I just think you should have did all those solos first, and then, you know, do BvS, all the solos, then Justice League. In my opinion, just in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. After BvS, it's like, okay, Wonder Woman's hot. Like, that film did great. Yeah, I think, yeah, they should have did the Batfleck. I think after BvS, you know, and he had his change right there. And then, yeah, Superman's dead. Let that lay until Justice League. You did Wonder Woman. Go ahead and do Batman at the least. And I think Cyborg, too. I think you should have put like Cyborg story, but that his story is like in Justice League though. So it just is different ways they could have did it. They were all ready for solo films, no doubt. Yeah, WB, they really, that regime really mishandled, you know, these godlike characters. You know, they had it all at their fingertips with BvS, but again, it's that word of mouth. That is a thing, right? And then what, that weekend they released a Steppenwolf scene. It's like, why would you do, like, that should have been in theaters. That would have, you know, satisfied nitpicking questions that people had if you just would have did the Ultimate Edition in theaters. No doubt. Can James Gunn work with Zack Snyder to make everyone happy? I mean, well, there's going to be some people that they won't be happy if James Gunn works with Zack Snyder. So I just think really whatever Zack can do with DC in the future is just it's kind of unconnected with what James Gunn's going to do. And, you know, Gunn is concentrated on his universe. Reeves is doing his thing. I think there's opportunity for more Elseworld, type of projects. I think that's where Zack Snyder can come in. His story is, its own thing. He wants to do Dark Knight Returns as well. So, I mean, I think it's opportunities for everything. This is DC. This universe, this multiverse is vast. You can do multiple different stories for one single character, right? So I see no problem with it. So that's interesting. So again, that's that previous thing. That's cool. Now, let's see what we got here. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, this year is the 85th anniversary of Batman. Like, they adopted the whole year as Batman's anniversary. So you saw different things pop up all year to commemorate Batman. And now on, I think this is a WB website. Well, I know it's WB doing it, but it's an auction. They're auctioning all types of Batman-related type stuff. Among them is Batfleck's actual suit from BvS. Interesting. This is actual suit. The website if y'all see me on Twitter there, I posted this. The website's under that post. But Batman's actual suit bidding starts at $50K. They're expecting over $100K for that. That's nuts, right? Like, just them seeing that there's the profitability of the SnyderVerse still. I think another one they have like his cowl and stuff like that. I like the BvS. I like the Man of Steel Superman suit overall, and then but yeah, Batman's BvS costume, I think it's the best. I'm afraid Batman's not turned to a slasher killer. Oh, you already know what's gonna happen. What's that? 1930? What's it gonna be? 2036 or something like that? When it hits public domain, you already know it's gonna be a killer Batman story. You already know it's gonna be a slasher story. Shout out to Sammy in the chat, Sammy Snyder Queen. I had a great Twitter space talking about the fandom. I think the energy of the fandom, we're not, because this is my thing. When Snyder Cut came out, I had this whole plan on my channel because we was doing a whole countdown with all the trailers, and all the teasers that Zack was coming out. It was pretty amazing. I was going live like every day. Every time, there's a character trailer that dropped, right? And then I had a plan when the Snyder Cut came out. I was going to do like character specific streams, like we'll break down the Cyborg arc and Superman and Batman, etc. And then Ann Sarnoff came out and it was like, SnyderVerse is dead, because it was all this joy leading up to the Snyder Cut. I just remember there's all the streams I was doing then, and just was looking forward to its release. You had opening night. I got a chance to see the cut probably like a week or two earlier, and I was just like, bro, this is the greatest CBM film ever. That's what I felt initially, but I'm still going back. I think BvS. I enjoy more BvS. I like both of them. But anyway, I was like, man, I'm gonna do like streams breaking down all these different characters, and we're gonna celebrate it. Then Aaron Cernoff came out with that, again, no more SnyderVerse, the weekend of the Snyder Cut, and it was this whole shift in the fandom where it was just like anger, and then Zack, did the suck at Warner Brothers and things like that, and so it's like I didn't get a chance to really celebrate, the Snyder Cut, or just celebrate what Zack has done. So, I mean, this is my long way of saying, what Sammy was talking about in the space and what I talked about in the state of the fandom. I want to celebrate this work. I want to celebrate whatever Zack does. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really what I'm going to be doing on more of my streams. Again, holding up these projects and, doing more breakdowns, not getting too caught up in what happened 8 years ago, or 3 years ago. I want to focus on, like I said, acknowledging what we have, right? So let's see. Do you think Ben will work with Zack again someday? Maybe a non-DC project? Anything's possible with non-DC. I mean, I look at it that for Full Circle last spring, spring of 2023, I should say, Ben Affleck showed up, right? Ben Affleck showed up and supported Zack. He didn't have to. It's clear Ben wants to do the Dark Knight Returns story one day. Zack openly talks about the Dark Knight Returns story one day. So, I mean, I think that's just an easy layup that they can do. And then when Zack is able to finish his 5-part arc or make one last film to end it, we already know Ben's going to be there for Zack. So yeah, I believe they're going to work together again in some capacity. Past is the past. Can't be changed. One can make our future better. Exactly. Outside of that, they have this Daily Planet newspaper, Gotham Crime Rate Soars. All right. That's a cool piece just to, something to hang up in the vault. Bid starting at $250, but they think you can get up to $1,000. We also got the Leto Joker Mobile. My understanding, that's the car that they were driving in the Suicide Squad. That's kind of wild, right? You got the actual Batfleck suit. I guess the actual Joker Mobile. Now it's pretty big. Again, it's Batman related. So they do have like some on the website. Again, it's under my tweet. I posted the website, but it's through Warner Brothers. They are auctioning off these official pieces of Batman film history. So they got some Batman 89 stuff. they even got Batman and Robin stuff, things like that. So definitely, I think they have like even some of like some Batman explosives. They got like little things like the little replicas of that. Cool stuff. Showing they still making money off of off of the Snyderverse because it was profitable, as as Zach said. BvS, we already know the theaters would have did $873 million. They cut China short for some reason, but anyway, physical release, media, digital media, BvS made all kinds of money for them, and it still is with these pieces here, and then you got the licenses to the McFarlane toys and Evergreen. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Interesting. So I had let me jump up here. I think it was what was it, a week or two ago? I was supposed to have this little Q&A thing that Zack Snyder did, and we wanted to check that out and kind of see his responses. So we're gonna pull that up. Shout out to Mr. J in the chat. Not knowledgeable of auctions or memorabilia. Is this standard to do? Is WB really struggling that they need to do this? They definitely want to generate money. Like they still are in that debt. Was it like 39 billion, I believe. So if they can get $1 billion auctioning off all this Batman stuff, that's one less billion they got to worry about. So yeah, they got to generate money from all different angles. The problem with WBD, I hope people understand, because we talked about possibly separating DC and things like that. The reason why WB is fully in debt is because they have too many businesses and they're trying to juggle film, TV, cable, streaming, gaming, etc. Right? The film side is actually strong. So that's why they talked about spinning off film and streaming together, because those that's what's making money for them. But cable TV and things like that is not. So that's why they want to separate some pieces so they won't be so much in debt overall, right? So we'll see. We'll see what they do. But yeah, this is their way of generating some money, though, Sammy, with this. And let me see. I'm going to pull up the site. Hold on. Because I had it on my tweet. Let's see. We'll pull up the site here. So prop store auction. This is the Batman 85th anniversary live auction. That's what they got going on here. The auction goes live with us at December 6th. Then so they got the BvS stuff first. See, you got the sticky charge right there. That'd be cool to have, a Batman sticky charge. But they even got now this man, for some reason, I kind of want this that jacket where it has a Superman patch on it. Bro, I kind of want that jacket. But it starts at $2,500. Doggo. That'd be dope. Like I would, yeah, that'd actually be dope right there. So we got the Joker mobile. That's interesting. I didn't see this earlier. Suicide Squad director and cast autograph script cover page. That the original script? Some already bidded on that too. Got the Batman's grappling gun from Justice League. Yeah. That's pretty real. And even got some pieces from the Joker film, Todd Phillips' Joker. The Murray Franklin mug. Thomas Wayne mayoral campaign buttons. They got some of everything. Batman, that includes Joker related type stuff. So check out their website. PropStoreAuction.com. That's it right there. Justice jackets. You already know. You already know. Some people gonna ask, is that the Justice one? Oh man. You got a Justice grappling hook. That's amazing. All right, so as I said like a week or two ago, I had this this Q&A that Zach did. He was explaining his different approaches and stuff. So I was like, I wanted to kind of cover that. So let's see if there's not an L today. I think the sound works on this now. Let's see. We'll put it like that.
And baby wants to know why did.
Okay. So the audio works. Okay, that's good. That was a simple thing that didn't work last week. But Zack Snyder's taking questions. He has some cool explanations as far as why he does what he does. So let's kind of check this out. I'm going to kind of stop and talk over it for a few minutes at a time. Just, YouTube hates me right now. So I'm trying to play by the rules. All right.
Rebel Moon's action sequence have so much slow motion? The obvious answer is slow motion is awesome. These movies are physical.
Now, what is people's problem with slow-mo? Like, honestly, no complaints when The Matrix came out. Like, every other movie that did slow-mo, it's only a problem when Zack Snyder. It amazes me. Now, he explains it as far as why he does slow-mo and stuff like that, but first off, it does just look cool. Like, what is people's problem? Like, seriously.
Physicality to what our heroes go through. The use of slow motion to me is a way of just embellishing heroic moments that our heroes go through. Because I think I'm a fan of beautiful classic artwork or paintings, I like to kind of make the moments into those iconographic frames that you can hang on and see. Otherwise, you just go right by and you'd never have a chance to appreciate the composition, the sort of tension that's created by the character.
Like, this makes total sense, right? Like, how is this a problem for people? I really don't understand. Like, Zach is like, these action sequences go by so fast. I'm going to slow mo to kind of, again, show you, first it looks awesome, but then it's like paintings, and then it's highlighting, these heroic moments. I don't understand people, man.
and how they're pushing the frame in all the different directions. Slow motion tableau where you're moving with a character. I'm not a fan of like action that is hidden by the camera. The camera becomes a third character in the fight when it's like looking for the action. In the end, even in a sequence with a lot of editing, I tend to like to see the action unfold. Conan Kun 66 wants to know, director's cut, what does that mean? What happens is, in the focus groups and in the studio screenings, people get ideas about the movie. And they're like, it's too long. You've got too many shots of this. You need to cut that out. And what happens is, inevitably for me, the movie will get changed based on studio opinion and things like that. And I'll be like, okay, that's great. This is the movie we're releasing in theaters. There used to be a thing called DVDs. And I would go over to that department and I would say, hey, would you guys be interested in an extended or director's cut of this film? You can sell it alongside the normal version and people will maybe buy additional DVDs based on the fact that this is never before seen. And inevitably DVD will be like, that's awesome. We can give you some money to make it as cool as you want. The Snyder cut of Justice League is the most on steroids version of that process. The studio finally did ask me, after pressure from the fandom.
You got it right. That's what the Snyder fandom did. Pressure from the fandom made WB cave in, right? And as I talked recently, I think like the former pressure that we did then, I think it just needs to evolve. That's what I think. What does that mean? What does that look like? I don't know, but I don't know if boycotting is the answer. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's kind of neat that Zack Snyder pointed out that it was pressure from the fandom that got the Snyder cut. That's all of us, all right?
To finish my version of Justice League, one of the things that we restored was the original aspect ratio, which was 1:4:3. If you've seen the other version of Justice League that I have never seen, I think it's in 1:8:5. But for me, the movie was always supposed to be 1:4:3. And I think there was going to be a compromise if there was a theatrical wide release of my version of Justice League. I did consider 1:6:6 as a possible other ratio. At Go Berserk now wants to know, why did you choose 4:3 format for your Justice League cut? Justice League was originally framed to be 4:3 because it was meant for an IMAX release. Now, if you've ever been to an IMAX theater, those screens are square. Justice League originally was composed and shot for a square presentation because it was meant to be shown in IMAX. And so that's why when someone says, why is it 4:3? It is 4:3 because it was meant to be in an IMAX theater. At Joel Getty would like to know, how much of a fight scene is really up to the writer and how much is up to the director and fight choreographer? My experience is that I like to talk with them about what I want to see, what I want the actors to do, what I want the character to achieve. I always like to break the fights into like little mini 3-act movies. In the first act of the fight, the main character has a lot of confidence and they're like fighting with a lot of power. In the second act, they might make a mistake or get rocked and they lose confidence and they're now on their back foot. And then the third act, they turn it around and they actually are victorious. The way I use storyboards and action sequences, here's the things I need to see. Want to really see Cora throw the hatchet and hit the guy in the forehead with it. And when she's on the guy's body, she blows his brains out, but she's holding the back of his head, boom, and he falls, and then she's gonna roll and like get the gun. Those are the two beats I want to see. And then they'll start linking stuff together and be like, okay, we think if she throws the hatchet, she's got to fight her way back and then get the hatchet out of his head and then use it later. That's how the collaboration works, and then suddenly we have a whole fight. So Talks wants to know, what do you find is the best way to pitch an idea? I like to kind of set it up a little bit so that it's not a cold pitch. This Army of the Dead idea I have, it's like a zombie heist movie, but let me tell you more about it when I see it. And then how much do you have to have worked out? I think you have to have the whole thing pretty much 100% worked out. I don't recommend going in without the idea figured out. I always say this, there's one tool that you have that everybody has, and that really is your point of view. What I want from you is the way you see the world translated into a movie. So you should do it from your personal perspective. Tell me about the way you see, and that will engage me and it will intrigue me, and I'll see something unique in your vision, and then I'll write you a check for whatever, $100 million. At Podcast Movement wants to know, what role does feedback from your audience play in shaping your creative decisions? There's three sort of ways we do it. A trusted group, where I would bring in like a bunch of my friends who I like their opinion and I trust their taste, and I ask them a series of questions after they watch the movie. Next is a friends and family screening. So you could have 200 people at that and you show them the movie. I find friends and family are the hardest audience. You'd think that friends and family would be like, oh, they're gonna be nice to the movie and say nice stuff. They don't. Then we do a general preview where we go out into the theaters and we show the movie to just a general audience. You know, you're walking by the theater and someone has a clipboard and goes, hey, do you want to come see this movie? And you go and watch it and you give them feedback. Mostly feedback from the audience is related to confusion about the story. Was it clear that that character was the character they were referring to? Or when they went from this location to that location, were you lost? Those are the three methods that we normally use. The sort of online feedback, I don't really look at that. If you actually start to look at the internet for opinion about your work, you can really go down a rabbit hole. And
So all y'all hating on Zack Snyder's work online, Zack ain't paying attention to y'all, man. He looks at audience response, you know, box office turnout is another way as well, but all his films were successful. You know, Man of Steel, BvS made bunches of money. Everyone loves a Snyder cut. You know, yeah. Anyone that's online saying like, "Oh, Zack Snyder's a hack," it's like you just wasting your breath, man. You just want to hear yourself speak. Is what that is. Yeah, Zack ain't worried about y'all, man.
And, that's a dark place. At Concord.
It's a dark place. Like, he'll never work with Netflix again. It's like he got like 10 projects with Netflix right now. So supposedly they hate him. So that's what I'm saying, man. People spend too much time listening to antis. They don't base anything on facts. It's just blind hate, and it doesn't matter. Because they're still watching all these films.
The library wants to know, how do you build fictional worlds? I always like to start with myth. Your words, your drawings, your reference, your own personal taste. You sort of set an aesthetic for the world. And in setting aesthetic for the world, I'm inspired by those conversations to draw and paint. Those are the ways I start. In Rebel Moon, we travel throughout the galaxy and we go to all these different places. Now in the script, this place is like a mining colony. We go to a place that's like a floating dock. So once you have these kind of, what I would say, these are images that I like, these are drawings that I've done, we could give them to a concept painter, and that painter will do a full-blown painting, and then I can look at it and go like, that's exactly what I want it to look like. Those paintings, they really end up being sort of touchstones of each one of the looks for the environments you go to. At Zoomer Podcast wants to know, how on earth do films get funded? Well, movies are like any business. Whoever's got the sort of resources to make a movie, and that is to say they've got a chunk of money and set aside when they're going to use this money and they're going to give it to a filmmaker to make a movie. They say, okay, we really want to make a horror movie, you know, so they'll say, okay, do you have any ideas for a horror movie? Because we on our slate would love a couple horror movies. And so you pitch them and they go, yeah, it's pretty good. I think we should at least spend some money to write a script. And so they pull a small amount of the money off and they go, okay, go write your script. So you go and you write your script and they come back and they read it and they go like, either that's awesome, you did exactly what you said, we love it, here's more money, go make it into a movie. Or they'll say, you know what, here's some notes, it's not quite what we thought, here's a little bit more money, can you fix it up? The other way it happens is they have this pile of money and they have some ideas. We bought this newspaper article and they're like, hey, writer, would you write us a script based on this article? What do we do with it? Let's call some directors that we know. They read it, they come in and say, oh, this is how I want to make that into a movie. I see it as like black and white, low angles. You know what, we love that. Here's money, go make that. And then they would go and make it. There's also independent films, you know, where like the financing is not raised from a single source. That's mostly based on a script and a filmmaker together. So you go to different film festivals, different marketplaces, and you say like, I have an idea for a movie. Robert Downey Jr. wants to be in it, and I think it could be amazing. Based on that pitch, we can give you like $5 million. I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to put that in my bucket. Now I go pitch it again in another room, and they might have another 5 or European distribution or whatever. You can also raise enough money to shoot it that way, and you'd have a bunch of partners. At Capibana wants to know, for movies, how do directors decide which scenes to do in which order? This is my basic philosophy for what order to shoot the movie in. Page 1, shot 1. Shoot the movie in order as best you can. And so then the characters are growing or progressing along that same timeline as the film itself. If you're doing a super complicated fight scene, sometimes it's good to do it right off the top. What happens with action inevitably is it takes a long time. It requires a lot of training, choreography. The way that happens is they spend time in the gym with the fight team learning it. So that requires in prep, the actors, because they're not shooting, they have time to learn a really complicated fight. And when they come on the day now, they're super ready and they can do it incredibly well. At Rizzo Draymond asks, at Zack Snyder, how did you get your start as a director? Did you have to do an audition or something to start off? I'm just asking because I want to be a director in the future. Well, I went to film school to be a movie director, but about 3/4 of the way through my college career, I was talking to the head of the department, and he said, look, to guarantee yourself a job when you get out, if you made a bunch of TV commercials while you're here in school, you would have a reel and you could go get a job immediately. And when I got out of school, I went straight to work. 10 years of TV commercials. A lot of the Clydesdale Budweiser commercials for BMW, for Subaru. I've done commercials for Bose speakers. I've done commercials for pretty much anything you could think of. So the way you get a TV commercial is they have an idea for a commercial, a storyboard, and they're like, you know what, Zack Snyder and this storyboard feel like a good match. Let's send it to him. Get them on the phone. They get on the phone and I go, this is what I would do if I was directing your TV commercial. It would be all these like super cool angles, lots of slow motion, all this cool cinematography. Your product would look amazing and people are gonna buy it. And so when I went to Universal Studios to audition to do the movie Dawn of the Dead, I did have a vast knowledge of filmmaking, but I still had to do a song and dance and tell them how the movie would look and what would be in it, and they seemed to like it. At Summit Purchase wants to know, how do filmmakers prepare themselves for the shoots? Are there people beyond the crew you discuss the project with? You go into isolation? Do you focus on fitness before the shoot? I'm a writer, so I'm normally writing and drawing. I have drawn the storyboards for all the movies that I work on, and so I end up drawing probably about 5 months before I start shooting. For Rebel Moon, the movie I just finished, I created about 3,000 drawings. And as far as fitness goes, we do really work on our fitness before the movie starts. It does come in handy, especially like me. I operate the camera and I was the director of photography, so I'm running around all the time. Shooting a movie is a marathon and you need to be in the best shape you can because it's gonna wear you down. At Flowers For You wants to know, are film directors in charge of scripts like planning the whole movie out, or do film directors get hired after the movie's already completely written and planned out? There are times, like Man of Steel, where I got a script. Beyond the words, there was nothing planned. So of course, I've written half of the movies that I've directed, was very involved in all aspects of production, whether it be costume design or set design, cinematography. My last 2 movies, I also acted as the cinematographer. So not only was I the director, telling the actors what to say based on words I had written, but I was also making shots based on drawings that I had.
All right. That's a teaching time with Zack Snyder there. Pretty cool insights that he put in that video. That was a video, again, I meant to do like a week or so ago, and for some reason I had no audio. So we got it on now. So pretty cool stuff. But at times I'll be pulling up videos like that on streams. It's cool to hear Zack Snyder explain his techniques and things like that. So pretty cool. Let's we're gonna be having our Wednesday crew filing in. We got Lewis in the multiverse coming out here.
What's going on, everybody? Not much.
All right. Doing good, man. Doing good. Another week of CBM Geek News.
Yes, sir.
That we're going to touch on. Anything been up with you? Same old.
Same old, man. Just here, trying to keep the lights on. You know how it is, man. You know the grind.
as we kind of wait for our other folks, because I have an interesting probably an interesting question to go into in a moment here, but you got to see Gladiator 2, right?
I did. I put up my my review already on the podcast feed. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What's your general thoughts? Well, I guess we don't have to spoil it yet, I guess.
No. Okay, it's gonna come out this weekend, so we should probably not spoil it. Just to be nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even out yet. That's right. Yeah.
This weekend, ladies and gentlemen, you can watch that, and right. It's gonna be. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was a great watch. I thought everybody was excellent. Everybody brought their A game. It's definitely cinema, And if you're a fan of the first one, I don't see no reason why you wouldn't like the second one, to be honest with you.
What I like about the second one is because at first you're thinking okay, they're kind of, I don't want to say like a Force Awakens vibes, but I was just okay, they're kind of trying to do the same thing, but then there's a moment where it really turns to its own thing. They really was okay, we're taking this, Ridley Scott took it another direction, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed that he kind of made an original twist to it, second half of the film, in my opinion. But that's just my, my general thoughts on it.
I liked it. I thought it was great. I liked all the twists and turns in the plot. I thought it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a full film. I mean, just an ensemble cast. Just everyone has their moments, in the film. Yeah. So I mean, it's just a really well put together film. I totally agree.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much.
Were you entertained? Yeah, that's really the question.
I was.
Good stuff. So another endorsement for Gladiator 2 for sure. Yeah. For sure. We got Steven asking here, you're going to talk the news with DC and Daniel Craig? Yeah, actually, I have a video ready to go on my DCU channel. I got some new videos up over on that channel. We dive deeper into DC Studios and put some comics stuff over there as well too. That's going to be real cool. Speedy, I don't know if you heard the news. It's still not official, but the Sergeant Rock project, it's like an obscure character, DC character,
right?
They wanted Daniel Craig basically to be in the DC. James Bond playing a war soldier. I don't know if I really like that choice, but Daniel Craig has good range though as an actor.
He does. He does, and I enjoy him in everything he's done.
Even, he's obviously the James Bond.
Out, that was great. Yeah.
Knives Out was a totally different character, from his James Bond. He really. So I think he could play anything. He just wouldn't be my first choice to play a Sergeant Slaughter type, ultimate warrior soldier. I don't think Daniel Craig.
I find it interesting that he would have been cast as that, or that he would be interested in doing something like that. You know what I mean? I find it very interesting.
I think the director, I forget his name off the top of my head, but they're supposed to be really cool. I think the director, it's kind of him, phoning a friend,
right?
Saying, "Hey,
Well, that makes sense now. That makes a little bit more sense. All right, I'm going to do this movie with my director friend. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So that's kind of how that works overall with that, but. Interesting. I guess since we're on the topic of the DCU, we'll throw this up here. Get your thoughts on this. James Gunn recently, everyone talks about comic book accuracy, what's canon, and things like that. And
Yep.
And James Gunn addresses what he looks at as comic book accurate, which is an interesting explanation, but. And he says, so I don't think it means current canon, what's in the comics currently. Mm-hmm. It's a long history of comics, right? Is what he's saying, that they've all had their up years and down years. I don't think current readers should be weighted 100% and lifelong readers weighted at 0%. Things evolve. Also, the DCU is a different universe than DC Comics. Just as Black Label is different from mainstream continuity, comics accurate to me means staying true to the nature of the character, which is obviously subjective. So every adapter can only do his or her best. So I guess his explanation here. Are you buying it, or I guess what? Yeah, just your thoughts on James
It
Gunn's
just seems
definition.
like a great paragraph to dance around the answering the question. That's what it seems like to me. But taking the cliff notes from this paragraph, it just says he's gonna do whatever the heck he wants to do.
He's gonna do his own thing. It's
That's
like
the
you want
cliff notes,
comic accurate.
okay?
It's like
That's comic accurate. You know what's
it's
he's gonna be like?
look
You know what's
like
comic
Batman.
accurate? Whatever the heck I wanted it to be.
Exactly. Yeah, it depends on which comic, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's true. I mean, we as far as with Zack Snyder, he does his own version.
Sure.
Nolan did his own version. Like everyone does their own version of this stuff.
I mean,
And,
how many times in cinema and animated, all these kinds of different characters, and everybody's got their own different take on it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's comic accurate things. I guess core things to the characters. I don't think that's missing in anything. I haven't seen one product that I've been like, oh well, that's not true to the spirit of the character. You know what I mean? It may not be as super comic accurate as I would have liked, but I've never seen anything, even things that I disliked, that been like, that wasn't true to the character. You know what I mean? Except for maybe Luke Skywalker, and that's probably about it.
That's that nature of the character. Like you can't, do you think if you are worried about comic accuracy, it'll be hard to really evolve a character, right? Like, because you want to do your own spin, right? Like,
Right.
You don't want to just,
Exactly.
it's rare. Like the Watchmen film, like that's straight
Mhm.
panel to screen. Like you're just adapting a story there, so that's fine. Like what Zach did with that, but Man of Steel, he did, do your own take on it. That's the point.
That's right. That's right.
So
We want to see something. We want to see something different. We already know. We read the comic books. You know what I mean?
All right.
We wanted the
Like
same
the essence of the
stuff.
characters there,
Yeah.
but do another spin to it. And I don't see no problem. And like I said, Zach got a lot of hate for that, but also too at the end of the day, I mean, word of mouth general audience, they were real funny with BvS. I mean, I remember around that time. It was fun. I was over Friends of the Family House when BvS came out, and like I was pretty hardcore about it, but not as vocal, online in 2016. And it was over Friends of the Family House, and it was like the week it came out. It was like the second weekend, and they were just like, "Oh, I heard BvS is terrible," and this, and they're not even like comic book people. And I'm like, who's telling y'all this? Like, this word of mouth is just terrible. Like, just people that never was in it.
I always walked out of Batman vs Superman, which I saw in the theater. I always walked out of there thinking. First thing I thought was like, man, I don't know if people are gonna like these like darker takes on Batman and Superman, but I like it. You know what I mean? Because I've read the comic books, and I dig it. But I always thought when I walked out of the movie there, I was like, man, I don't know if mainstream audiences are gonna dig the moody and Batman and Superman. It wasn't presented in the way that they were used to. You know what I mean? And I thought about that when I walked out of Man of Steel too, as well. And I also walked out of Batman vs Superman thinking there is something missing in this movie. There's a plot piece missing in this movie. They had to cut it out. It's annoying the heck out of me. It wasn't done well. They cut out something for time or something like that, and it's missing. I always felt that way when I walked out of the movie.
Yeah,
And
plus
to his detriment. I was like, whatever they cut out, they messed this movie up. Connecting plot pieces.
We found out about the Steppenwolf scene. Like I think that opening weekend, they like released it online. I was like, why wasn't this in the movie? Like in the theaters? Like why would y'all leave that out? And towards the end, I did feel like they kind of chopped up.
I think that early Warner Brothers was just so much into perception and market research and trying to do something, trying to be just like Marvel, or play catch up to Marvel as far as making their shareholders happy or something like that. That's something in between of course Zack Snyder lost, his daughter, so he had to step away from the project. But even the projects that he was there was something starting to get disconnected between Zack Snyder's vision and what the execs of Warner Brothers wanted. You know what I mean? And it shows in the product. It just shows in the product.
Oh yeah, I remember like I said, opening night BvS. It was certain moments where people cheered and stuff like that, but.
Yeah.
I did feel like earlier in the film, I was like, are people getting this? Like when they're at Lex's party and you got Bruce and Clark facing off, he's like,
Right.
Don't believe everything you hear, son. Like that exchange was like huge for me, but I was just like, I don't think people getting like what's going on, like this this warfare is almost like about their approaches, what's going on right there. And I was like, I don't think everybody's getting this, man. And like I said, word of mouth kind of reflected that.
Yeah, it did. The word of mouth didn't help. I think the dark takes on both of them was, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't a flavor of the time.
Or ahead of his time, yeah.
Maybe
ahead of his time.
And
Definitely, yeah. Everyone loved the Wonder Woman part, yeah, for sure. That got pretty big cheers opening night, for sure. You can't make things too complicated if you want casual fans.
Yeah,
and I mean,
it is.
And it's like I didn't think BvS was that complicated. I mean, I get what Maria's saying. I mean, I just feel like I think people expected 3 fights between Batman and Superman, right? Instead of the build up to the huge, because the third act was like over an hour long, like nonstop action. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But that slow burn probably for some people early in the film probably didn't help the general audience with that. So but yeah, as far as what Gunn is saying here, definitely he's just gonna do what he wants to do, y'all. That's all that
looks like a lot of tap dancing right there.
All that means.
This is why I don't follow James Gunn on Twitter, on X, or whatever the heck you would call it now. I don't even know.
Well, he's mostly on what was that, Threads or
Threads now? Yeah, now he's on Threads now.
What's that new Blue Sky?
He got in trouble on X, so he switched up.
You on that new Blue Sky, Speedy?
What's that, Blue Sky? No, that new social media thing.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
It's like the alternate Twitter or something like that.
I could barely keep up with the stuff I'm on right now.
I tried that. Everyone went to, what was that, Mastodon a couple years ago? You remember that? It's like it gets all knockoffs. Yeah,
they're all knockoffs at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I was like, like I said, Threads I thought was decent, but I don't think it has enough street cred yet. I guess I don't know. I think Threads is cool. Yeah. I'm just saying, someone told me.
I thought about that. I thought about Threads too, like that way. Even then, I was like, okay, I guess it's meta. I guess I'll do it. I'll make it a count. It links with my Instagram. It works.
Yeah, that's one reason why I really did it.
When things start meshing, that gets me more likely to get it. So okay, I'll get an account with this because it combines with something else that I use.
Right. That's interesting.
Mark Zuckerberg has a unique way to make me sign up for things.
Man, that's his thing. Ain't nothing like Twitter. Okay, well, there you go. There we go. So interesting. We'll see. I mean, James Gunn. There should be a lot more news about him coming up next month as they're getting things going with the DCU.
We're gonna get that trailer, baby.
Getting the trailer. You people thinking next month. You think it should be next month or maybe they wait for the Super Bowl, February?
I think the
movie don't come out till July.
I think they're definitely aiming for Super Bowl. I think that's the money bet right there.
Yeah, they got to put their money up for that. I think like Deadpool, Wolverine. You do that quick TV spot and then watch the full trailer online. Like I think they could do something like that. But like I said, Super Bowl, yeah, they got to put their money up for that. Yeah. Next month at CCXP in Brazil, I think we'll probably get like a little first look, a little clip or something,
tidbit,
or
thank you, a clip.
Just corn sweats flying by or something.
I don't know that Brazil's the home team for DC, so
Yeah, huge fan base.
He might show Brazil 5 minutes of the movie.
It's making a free screening of the film. It's like just watch a rough cut. Brazil
without the
they're
effects.
Huge DC fans, man. There's no effects. Yeah, hopefully they fix that suit. As long as I'm sure without that suit being fixed. But Mari says Super Bowl will get a lot of eyes on it. but I could see Gunn holding out until the end of the year. Oh yeah, this December. I think, like I said, I think Brazil. There's no way you go to Brazil, and not show something. If you have something DC, something huge, I think they'd do it, and then a fuller look for a Super Bowl. I agree with that. So, let's get your thoughts on this here. We were expecting, of course, the Daredevil Born Again is saying continuation of Netflix.
Oh man,
coming out with March 2025.
That's a tall order right there. Gonna have to explain how that they got that dragon body under New York City.
I'm just saying, like to be a true continuation is like they were non-committal at first that it's something like the old one, but we're doing something different, and now they're fully leaning into it.
Okay,
I guess I don't know. Do you trust how they're handling this Daredevil?
I think so. I think it's going to be fine. When Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox have been doing the circuit on their own, really. You know what I mean? Of all the Comic Cons, usually when the creatives and the actors do that, take it on their own, is usually because they're really excited about something. You know what I mean? And yeah. Most
films. Mm-hmm. That's a good indicator. Like if someone really likes the film or a project coming up, if they're doing all those interviews, because like if they don't trust
the Comic-Con circuit, I think they behind it 100%. I think they're really excited about it, and I think it's gonna be fine. I just think it's gonna be that, when you have that continuation, a lot of the history that's gonna follow on with that, I think it could get messy for them, but a good writer, sure, make it happen.
Yeah, I just didn't like that they were so, like I said, non-committal at first. It was like, sort of like that. Then you see She-Hulk. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not Daredevil from the Netflix Marvel. That's not. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And She-Hulk, so it's just like, come on. But then again, that's when they course corrected after that. Mm-hmm. So
they have to explain. Not only do they have to explain that, they have to explain that it's a continuation of Daredevil from Netflix, which is fine. But also how they're gonna explain this a continuation of the character from Hawkeye. Oh, there you go, and also from She-Hulk. What have we seen in She-Hulk? I mean, it's a tall order. But apparently they got a lot of episodes to do it. So
yeah, well, yeah, they're already starting to get season 2 ramped up. Yeah. So another like 9 episodes.
Echo, sorry, I forgot about Echo too. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of now it's just big. It's bigger than Daredevil. It's all the shows, all the street level. It's the Punisher show. It's Luke Cage. It's even Iron Fist. Unfortunately, it's what happened to Jessica Jones. She walks at the end of her show. She doesn't get on the bus. She walks back. There's a bunch of it's
kind of a danger in really continuing. I mean, they should do like a little soft reset. Like Luke Cage, he's mayor of New York now or something, right? Or something at the end of his show. So
or Harlem at least.
Harlem. That's right. It's not New York, but. So it's like, okay, which I thought was pretty cool, and that's from the comics, but are you going to start the show right there? You know what I mean? That's kind of like the end goal of the character. So
I don't
know. Did you like Kingpin in Hawkeye, how he was depicted? Because I thought he got a little job there in the Hawkeye.
Oh, let's not also forget, I did. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was kind of interesting. The way his character was there. It's like, okay, we're missing something. We're missing something from the last time we saw him to now this iteration here in Hawkeye. And I thought they were going to explain that by the multiverse. Like, this is different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just the character looks different. But I guess apparently they're not. So we're going to
we will still see. Though they're saying, hey, they're following the continuity now. But we'll see how they explain it.
That's a lot.
Punisher, definitely.
Punisher
everyone's looking
people
forward
in Mexico. They got to explain that.
Yeah, everyone's looking forward to Bernthal coming back. Of course, he's in the Daredevil season, Born Again. So, like I said, I think compared to the stuff we've been getting from Disney Plus, Marvel and Star Wars, like I got high hopes for Daredevil.
I do.
This is like Secret Invasion or something here. Like, should be good. Should be good stuff. So we'll see. And they announced all a bunch of animated stuff they're coming out with next year and new series. So I think they're gonna do good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be all right.
I think Daredevil's gonna be lit. I'll be honest. I think it's really gonna be something we're gonna be talking about for a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that pretty closely. Now another IP. Not sure how I don't know if we talked about this. Predator got a couple new projects coming up. Predator Badlands. Now the twist with this is the Predator is the hero, and that may get some people nervous. How you make the Predator like the true protagonist, or it may be some kind of twist how they do it. But the question is, should the Predator ever be the good guy, Speedy?
Well, I mean, the Predator is kind of like the Freddy Krueger or the Michael Myers. You know what I mean? Like, there's the protagonist, but the main character is the antagonist. So he is the main character. So if people consider, let's see here is quote, the creature is front and center. So all that tells me is it's it's like one of those focus on him. He's doing Predator things, and the focus is on him. No, I don't know if it's from an antagonistic or protagonistic view. It might be from somewhere in the middle, depending on how creative they are with the actual story.
So according to the director Dan Trachtenberg, he did Prey. Everyone seemed to like his version of going in the past with a Predator. He's basically saying he wants to have this Predator like someone that you root for, basically. But again, because if you think of like the original Arnold Schwarzenegger, you were cheering for Arnold. Right. Danny Glover doesn't get enough love for Predator 2.
No,
Predator 2 was a pretty good movie. Man.
He literally stopped the Predator with nothing, with his underwear on. That's it. He literally beat the Predator with a 1-2 piece.
Right, man. I'm just saying,
bare hands, bro.
Danny Glover, he don't get enough love for that. Everyone talks about Arnold, yeah. Predator 2, but
he gave that Predator the fade in Predator 2. That's it.
But in those films, Predator was the bad guy. It became like a horror film, really.
That's what my analogy of Freddy Krueger comes from. So
right.
Maybe something in the middle, sure, that you don't really know. Something that's creative from a plot device. I
like this director. I like what he did with Prey. So I give people I give them more rope to kind of like, okay, what you gonna do because you did a good film.
I think Maria's right. I disagree with that. Another villain turning anti-hero. And I think that would be disappointing if he's just like man, he's just a good guy. He's trying to help humans now. No, I don't know. I need more than that. You know what I mean? That's not. Then it goes back to our earlier conversation about being comic accurate or character accurate. That's not very character accurate for Predators. We've seen the Predators in so many movies now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you can do your own thing, but don't change the Predator. He's supposed to, aren't they sitting here to hunt and stuff?
Yeah. Like it's part of their culture.
Take that away, right?
Well, at least we learned that from Predators, which was actually a really good movie. I wish they would have continued with a sequel from that.
I got the Predator. That was with Brody, Adrian Brody.
I think so. With the Predators, when they got stuck on the Predator, one of the Predator planets, and they got there. They were in like a.
I thought that film was okay. I wasn't a big fan of that.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for some weird reason. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But like I said, I'm gonna give this director a chance. Not sure how he's explaining this film, but we'll see.
They did say, I think part of a lot of this press that they're doing about Predator 2, as well. I heard an earlier report that an earlier interview they were talking about like a possibility of another Aliens versus Predator, and they said I don't know if somebody said from Fox or I don't know who actually said it, to be honest with you, but I remember seeing it in the in the timeline of Nerd News that if they were gonna introduce aliens or Predator into either or of those stories again, it's gonna be very organic. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be Aliens versus Predator 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Like they're not gonna do that anymore. So it's gonna be like they still live in the same universe, you know, and they've had interaction before. And I thought it was interesting. I thought that would lead to some interesting plot points and things that they could play around with, because we already had the Aliens movie that everybody liked, you know, and Prey was pretty was great. A lot of people like that. So I think if they play around with a little bit with that lore and a little bit of that back story between the two races there, and how humans interact with that, I think it'll be really creative.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much 99% sure we're getting Alien versus Predator coming. Like you said,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
Romulus came out and did okay.
Yeah.
all
Probably not
these Predator
so
stuff.
overt. You know, it's not going to be Aliens versus Predator 4 or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's going to be, you know, maybe this Predator Badlands, and then, you know, he's fighting an alien or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I like how in Alien Romulus, like, you know, they tried to do an alien film, but then they threw in like some Prometheus, you know, the engineers in there, right? And so it's like there's ways you could just have like cameos of these, you know, like have an alien, like have a Predator film, and then like have like a moment where an alien pops up or something, you know.
Yeah,
not making it a whole movie
yeah,
about it.
Exactly. No, but they can play around with it and make it really fun and make a little Easter eggy. You know, they can have fun with it.
Yeah. Predator with Olivia Munn was trash. Which one is that? The one that Speedy likes?
I think so, probably. I don't know. I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know what? You know why I enjoyed it? Because it reminded me of a Predators comic book. You know, 'cause I've read like that before. Like they take some humans and throw them on a planet. I think it was probably an Aliens versus Predator one, very similar.
Oh,
they
they
had some humans on a hunting planet, and they were avoiding the Predators and the aliens on the planet. I thought it was interesting.
2018, The Predator. That's the one with the Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
That's starring Boyd Holbrook, who's actually a good actor. He was in Logan as the scavenger hunt, the hunter, the bounty guy. But the rest of the cast probably was trash.
Yeah.
with that film. I really didn't. I don't know. Have I even seen that film? I mean, they got Thomas Jane in there, like the old Predator, Punisher.
I don't even think I've seen that one.
I'm gonna have to still watch that. It's on Hulu, so I'll probably check it out later or something. So I can agree with Maria there. Predator versus Terminator, just shade. So interesting stuff here. Yeah.
The Predator has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Predators has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. There you go.
That's the one you like, the Predators.
Yeah. Predators. And it could have been a lot better, honestly.
The cast was fine. It was the execution. But yeah, that'd kill
the problem. That's usually the problem of every movie. That doesn't.
Yeah. So that makes me not want to watch it if it's not good execution. Now, the cool thing with this, I mean, not only they got the director of Prey to, do another Predator film, but they said he also did a secret Predator film. I don't know why it's a secret, but it's a secret. But it's not a secret anymore. We got Gizmodo.com saying they got the scoop, the rumor of the secret Predator film. He's not only doing the Badlands, but he's also doing an animated Predator project, or he's already done it. It's an anthology, 3 separate stories of Predators fighting warriors in multiple eras. You got Pirate Predator, which is like wild. Okay. Samurai Predator. Like,
I'll be lit.
Bring that on. And they said a third one that they didn't clear up there. But that's the secret Predator film. It's an animated. And hey, like I said, I like that idea. I like that. I think. What you think, Speedy?
I think I'm here for it. Let's bring it. Let's do it. Let's go. Wherever we are watching it already. You know.
Dr. Person, y'all, we're hating on The Predator.
The Predator.
So that movie was good.
We didn't even watch it. That's how bad it was.
That was a super Predator. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, for the super Predator.
Oh, there's a super Predator in The Predator.
In The Predator, yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I remember they was talking about that. The Predator.
Yes,
That's
the
interesting.
the Predator planet is predators, and I don't think that's actually the Predator planet. I think it's a planet they hunt on. You know,
Right,
they
right.
game on. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm about to watch The Predator. But this animated, I love this idea. As long as obviously the animation has to be good, but a samurai predator, like that's just nuts. Like everyone's getting
Yeah, I'm here for
decapitated.
it. Let's go. Let's get that up. But that needs to be up on Disney Plus right now.
Right.
And,
And see, did they even
Disney
say
Plus is supposed to, some countries they have the star tier.
right?
And,
Outside the
and here,
states is
here they kind of
Star.
do it on Hulu or whatever. But yeah, let's put it up on
Yeah, they
Hulu.
throw it on there.
Whatever needs to happen. Let's go.
It says coming out next year. So Predator Badlands live action is coming out next year, and the animated. They say the animated is coming. The animated took the. I'm sorry, Badlands took the spot of Blade, right? So that's coming out. Was it November
Really?
or next year? Yeah. So Predator Badlands live action is coming out next November or October or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, but the anime is supposed to come out before that, so that's probably next summer.
Yeah, let's ramp up this Predator and Alien verse. You know what I mean?
Predator verse.
Ramp it up. Predator verse, Alien verse.
I'm all for it,
Put
man.
them all together. Throw something else in it. Throw Terminator in it too. Sure, why not?
Terminator. I don't know what Terminator is fitting in with that. Like,
I don't think
Predators and Aliens.
I think that's a stretch, probably.
We'll let him chill.
Yeah.
We'll let him chill off on that. But interesting stuff there. Yeah, like I said, I'm all for the Predator hype. For sure. Now, let's catch up with the comments here. A little shorter show than usual. I don't have enough mouths speaking today. Danny should be back next week. I think she's done with her assignment.
Oh yeah, she's done. I meant to ask her.
Yeah.
I was in her chat in her Dune watch party chat for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was gonna.
Man, I'm not too big in the Dune lore, but I wanna check that out. I may binge that a little bit.
Yeah, I might watch it today. I haven't got around to it yet, but I probably will catch up to it today.
I mean, because like with Dune, I like the first film that DDV did, but like I said, the second one was okay.
At least I'm like,
I like the
bro.
first one
That's the best part.
I like the first one. I like the first one better.
You got to admit. All right, the final battle, ladies and gentlemen, the final battle. All right, when he kills what's the character's name?
Elvis.
Yeah, the Elvis character, the guy who played Elvis. When he kills him and everybody's standing around, and he won, and they look at each other and they go, "Lisa Makayu." If you didn't laugh after that happened, there's something wrong with you. Okay.
Hey, Timothy Chalamet.
I was just like, look at
that was probably one of his best performances. Like I think
it was
just personally what he did. He did really good in that film. Harvey Bardem, he's probably stole the show, the entire film. But was it Terminator needs some work? See, what the last Terminator
did you check out the Netflix show though? Nielsen.
I still haven't. I watched probably the first episode.
It's
and I was like,
different.
Man, this is insane.
It's
I was like, this is.
I would say if you're not a fan of animation, especially Japanese stuff, it's probably not gonna help you. It's not gonna help your Terminator.
Terminator experience, like
it's not gonna help you. But it's pretty well done, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. Or maybe I might be biased.
You probably are biased, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're biased. But in that anime, like it is straight up anime. So it's just like
it's an anime style, and
overload.
Everything. A lot of plot devices are anime based with, but it does a lot more for Terminator than anything. Done.
I'll get through a few more episodes. I heard a lot of good things about it, and James Carpenter, he's ramping up to do another Terminator. He wants to kind of take it a new direction, though, and that's.
I remember him reading that he got inspired by what they did with this anime.
Yeah,
so, there you go.
What do you think though? Like because they tried to do a different direction with Dark Fate, and it seemed to just tick off everyone.
It did, and I wasn't against it per se, and I thought it was okay as far as the movie is concerned, but it definitely is lacking in some areas, that Dark Fate. I remember seeing a screener of it, and I had to give, it's all right,
Because the point of Dark Fate, he was trying to go away from the whole chosen one. Well, he didn't do the film, but he was in agreement with them saying, okay, don't
Change
do
it
the
up,
whole Sarah Connor.
Yeah, don't do the Sarah Connor thing. They killed John Connor right in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, get rid of John Connor. So it's like you're not even worried about this whole chosen one thing. And it's like,
they kind of doubled down on that in the anime, not as far as like killing John Connor per se, but saying that this has been like a cycle of them going back and forth in time and space, and yeah, it was focused on John Connor for a while, but then another person took that place, and then it was focused on them. Then it was another person that took that place, then it was focused on them. So they kind of allude to that in the anime when you watch it, and you get deeper.
So maybe that's the direction he'll go. Kind of, there's another, chosen one now because it changes. I guess it changes every time or something like that, or
something like that.
So
because I guess the explanation in the anime was that in the hubris of the AI, the Skynet AI, they thought they were smarter than how space and time works, and they dropped the ball.
Altered time.
Yeah, they altered time, and they keep altering time. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that makes sense. I saw a few episodes. Doom Prophecy says it's good. Oh, Mark Strong's in that.
Strong.
I definitely gotta watch it now. If you got Mark Strong in anything,
there you go.
like they should have.
I'm gonna watch it.
Highlighted
that.
Check it out. Mari, T3, Genesis, Dark Fate. Yeah,
they did. They tried. They did.
Yeah, Genesis of
that was lacking.
Yeah, they tried again. They tried to do a different direction, and they made John Connor the enemy. I was like, okay, I don't know, and that's why I think James Carpenter, he's like, Cameron, he's just like, I just wanted to do something totally different. Let's just go away from all this stuff, So we'll see. Good stuff. I guess real quick in the chat, any last minute comments or questions, throw it on in there. We're gonna wind this one out. Again, Gladiator 2 is not out yet, so yeah, we'll talk about that more probably next week. See how it's doing in the box office. Coming up, like I said, with the platform, the latest news, we try to touch on that. I got some cool videos I've been getting as far as with Zack Snyder, so I'm trying to highlight that on some of the streams to commemorate, to celebrate his work. It's cool, we campaign for stuff as well, but it's cool to just, let's celebrate what he's doing, right?
That's right.
Every day don't have to be a fight, fight. Snyder Quiz has been fun and chill stream to watch, for sure. And appreciate y'all showing up for that. Speedy, coming up for you, same old routine, right? You do your stream.
Same old routine. Tuesday we'll be back with the live show on my YouTube, Speedy's Multiverse Geek Culture Congress podcast. We do it live. Come be part of the conversation, and that's Tuesdays 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you are around that time, I appreciate you.
Links in the description for Speedy's platform. Check that out. John Connor becoming Terminator was stupid, Maria says.
Yeah. But
that was in
Genesis.
Felt
like, that was Genesis. I felt like I liked Salvation until a certain point, too, as far as Terminator stuff.
Salvation is a good movie.
Yeah,
no, Salvation.
So it was a pretty
that's
good
the
movie.
one with Christian Bale.
Right?
Christian
Bale one. Yeah, I like that to a certain point. I forget what I dislike. I need to rewatch that one probably.
It's a real practical effects film, which I kind of liked. The strip down. They're in the future,
right?
And they did like shove in a T-800 for no reason. They didn't even need Arnold in that. Yeah. But I thought it was a pretty cool film. Like I said, just the action sequences seemed cool, and so Christian Bale, he's John Connor in the future in that film.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Apparently, yelling at people when you're trying to record a movie it works. And cursing people out.
That seemed to kill the box office for him for some reason. That story was out there.
That was back in the day when you need to have a good narrative about a positivity about your movie. when it was.
And that story was everywhere. Though. So someone really hated him because the video leaked and everything. Like he was like yelling.
He's probably a douche and a jerk, and they probably leaked.
Yeah, he probably was.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's when he slapped his own mom or something too. It was something crazy. With that.
Oh dang, it was all deep. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, he was out there, bro. But anyway, appreciate y'all checking out this Wednesday stream. Again, we try to give you objective analysis of the latest in CVM and Geek as well. Again, Speedy's links is in the description. You watch Superman and Lois, Speedy?
No, I need to go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, that's worth a binge right there. Yeah,
Really?
You would like it. I think you would like that. And that's what when I was talking about like essence of the character, but they're doing something new. The whole Daddy Superman thing.
Yeah, I liked it. And it's two sons in this show, right?
Yeah,
Not just the Jonathan,
and they
it's another one.
really not to give anything away. I mean, they really do push like new territory. They like you've never seen these types of stories with Superman, which is kind of refreshing. They
Interesting.
doing something new.
Is Supergirl involved in a lot of the episodes or no?
No, actually, no Supergirl at all. The only
Really?
this version of Superman, he showed up in Supergirl before.
Yeah.
Then they started the show, and it was like just a new continuity. Like it wasn't even connected.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it was like no Supergirl, that's maybe a missed opportunity there. That would have been cool. Would have been cool to have Supergirl attached to it. Fernando says, "What are your thoughts on Denzel Washington agreeing to film in Equalizer 4 and 5? Is it a good idea, Speedy?"
I don't know. I don't know if there's enough story there. I mean, you'd have to write the heck out of those two. I mean, how much more damage can that character take?
Damn, like
that Equalizer 3 is brutal. You almost feel sorry for him at one point, even though he's a badass. But at one point you're like, dang, after I guess I don't know. They have to really really tell the story really well. It depends.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
what
it's
the
like how many dips can you take in that? I mean, I guess they're all making money. I think that's what it comes down to with these Equalizer films, and so I don't think they spend too much on it either. So, hey, I guess go ahead. Like John Wick, they kept doing those too. And they were
going to go
good.
to Netflix. If it's going to go to Netflix, then who cares?
I think it'd be straight up films. Yeah,
Netflix. It's just a different. They have a different methodology of how they what's successful for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can see that. Yeah, sure. For a 4 and 5, and Netflix put up the money because they just want content and people signing up to see things. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah, it's like a
theatrical release.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's for the audience, though. I think that's what it comes down to. They get their target audience, and
was it
making money?
But was it a TV series originally?
Originally, I'm not sure. I guess is what they're saying. I know they got a new TV series out for it too, but the movie series. Hey, like I said, as long as it's making money, I say keep making them.
Hey, let me tell you, Denzel Washington is very spry. he was murking people in that Gladiator too. I'll tell you that.
Man,
he's very spry still.
He can still do Equalizer. After watching Gladiator,
he's very flexible. So that was.
I see why he still wants to murder people. but pretty good stuff. We shall see. We'll go and duck on out of here though. Again, appreciate Speedy showing up as well. We'll have more of the crew next week as well, and any more SnyderVerse tidbits, we're gonna pull them on out for myself, Speedy.
Yeah.
Still Nation, much love.
To Still
Stay
Nation.
tuned.
Sylabdul ink to speak true as he bring the news. Coffee talk, stay brew, kick back, get real comfortable. Here to stay, no underlay, make sure I be's informed. On the road, on the go, playing ball on that pavement floor. It's the lifestyle right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guaranteed all week's going to always be on time. That's my word, y'all heard from Vino Vega's mouth. What's the words much more than what these networks talk about?